This is the Motorola Razr, and it's kind of awesome. Now look, I actually did an unboxing video, but due to the lighting in the office, with the fact that, you know, the sun is like behind me the whole time, it wasn't great. But I'm gonna reenact it for you. So I'm actually not going to lie to you guys. When I first saw this, I thought, orange power cable. They've leaned into the whole color theme. That's really cool. And then I had a closer look, and this is not a charging cable. And then I thought, Motorola, you've gotten really kinky. And then I realized when I had a closer look at the actual case that they give you, it's like a little bag case thing, and I don't know if I'm disappointed or not. Anyway, I have now been using this for about 2 weeks, I think, give or take. And when I ordered it, I did manage to get the Motorola headphones, which have been actually pretty damn good. No real complaints, other than I can't really seem to get like the like ambient noise. Like if they're in, don't talk to me, I can't hear you. Kind of like that. But then I also like the ear cuffs, which do not black out anything at all. But on with the phone. So this is not the expensive one. This is not the Plus. This is the cheap version, and there are 2 reasons why I got this version. One of them is practical, one of them's not. So the practical one is the Plus does not have a wide scope. It does not have a wide camera, right? It is teleoptics, so you have like really good selfies, I suppose. Like you're not gonna have bad selfies anyway. But the cheaper version has the wider lens, and given the choice out of the 2, like I'm always going to prefer a wider lens. The second reason, and this is really the reason that did it for me, the colors are not the same between the basic and then the premium version. And the orange, I'm sorry, I know I get mocked a lot for this, but the orange just, it is beautiful. Now look, that hot pink for the Plus is all very well and good. Personally, I'm not a big fan of pink. Like Pink Sweets, great. Pink the Singer, all right. And Pink Donuts. That's about it. So the orange just stuck in my head, and this has been absolutely fantastic. Now, as with every single foldable phone, there are trade-offs. There are things that you are going to have to sacrifice, and it's completely up to you whether or not you think it's worth it or not. I'm going to get into some of the trade-offs in a bit, because there's a lot of really good stuff to talk about this phone. The first one that springs to mind is, this. That is awesome. I love that. I've missed that. I've had a foldable phone since foldable phones came out, and in fact, I had the Motorola Razr, not the first foldable smart Razr that I did a few years ago, but I had the 5G version, and I did end up sending it back. It just, it wasn't it. But skip a few years. In fact, last year I was very, very tempted to get the Motorola Razr that was out in 2023, and I sort of have that now. The basic version is pretty much what they were putting out as their flagship last year. Like, it really is just that simple. You don't lose a whole lot of screen real estate. You can do practically anything on the outside screen that you can do on the inside screen. Doesn't matter if I'm checking the doorbell, doesn't matter if I'm tracking orders, doesn't matter if I'm checking my calendar or playing games, replying to messages, having a quick look through my stuff. Like, the outside screen is incredibly versatile, and I do love that. Now, as we are talking about the outside screen, there is something that is such a cool factor. It is entirely gimmicky, but I still really love it, and that is quite simply camcorder mode. This just is fantastic. So recently my partner's father had his birthday. This was a phone that kept coming out, got people's attention, and the fact that you can see yourself on this meant that when I was recording people, when I was taking photos and everything else, we could actually see ourselves, and people could pose and position and reposition, and they could see the frames that I was going for. So this is, yeah, it's a gimmick. It is a gimmick to do this, but I'm here for it, man. Now, effectively, they've gone for the whole Google layout thing. So I've been using the Google Pixel Fold for about a year now, and it's a fine phone. In fact, it's a good phone. It's a phone that I can easily recommend to people. But like, I've never been like thrilled. Using it for editing, using it for videos and stuff like that. That's made my life so much easier when I'm doing my work, when I'm doing weekly reports, so on and so forth. It's just been a great phone. But it's not one that I've like thrilled about, you know? Like, it's difficult to say to someone, yes, this is a fun phone. And I've missed clamshell phones, but Samsung have been disappointing me with their clamshell phones for a while now, and Motorola, they haven't been where they need to be, but I think they are now. Now, like, I know other phones do this. I know the Google Fold technically can do this, but it was actually quite surprising when bedtime mode was flagged up on the Motorola. Basically, right, you set a time where you're telling your phone, hey, I need to be not of the doom scrolling in this majiggery, and I need to be going to bed, and the phone will go, yeah, all right. Everything goes black and white automatically. The do not disturb setting goes on, and it stays that way until a certain time in the morning. Like, for me, it's whenever my alarm goes off, which is normally about 7, half 7, something like that. And I really like that. I like the fact that if I get home a little bit late, that's absolutely fine. Nothing's going to interfere with anything. Then I pop it on charge after 9 o'clock, and it goes, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful. It encourages me to actually get some decent rest. Now, when we talk about the battery, I don't know, man. I don't know. So, like, there's been a couple of days where, like, I've done a full day's of work, and I've been using my phone moderately throughout the day. Like, nothing heavy, but moderately. Gone to the gym, come back home, partner is watching the Olympics. It's spinny, swimmy stuff, which I'm not particularly fussed about. So I'm playing games on my phone, I'm watching YouTube videos, doom scrolling. And like, I'm going till like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and the phone reaches to 7%. And for most of this, I am not using the outside screen. Like, during work, just to check messages, yeah, sure. But like, watching YouTube videos with my headphones in, no, I'm using the outside screen. But also, there's been days where I've like made a few videos for the tick of the talk, and yeah, that's been a massive drain. So it's a mixed bag. It depends what you're doing on your phone, but you know, you can always drag out extra charge on your phone just by closing it, because as I said earlier on, you can do practically anything with the phone closed that you can do with the phone open. Like, it's really that simple. It's really that simple. But let's have a quick look into the negatives. While the footage I've taken on this phone has been all right, it's not the best of the best, but as I've been saying for a good few years now, like, get a smartphone from a few years ago that was a flagship. It is trashed by today's standards, but it's still a really good phone. And with this, you're not really getting this to be like a videographer. Like, you're not. I've had a bugbear with having to get the best stuff when it comes to videography, or even like good stuff, because your phone is still really good. Again, I'm recording this on the Google Pixel Fold, and it's good enough. but the quality with this is just not fantastic. It's not fantastic. It's certainly nothing bad, and for the majority of situations you're going to be absolutely grand just using it. But then I've also got to say that when I've been using it from my side of the camera, it does come across stuttery. All the footage I've gone through, I've not seen that stutteriness like exposed anywhere, so it is just on my side when I am recording stuff. But it's something to be aware of. It's something to be aware of, and sometimes apps aren't necessarily working. Like I tried the KFC app, in fact last night, and it just would not let me go any further. Now I don't know if this is the app issue or if this is because it's a Motorola issue, and Motorola, yeah, they're not perfect. They're not perfect. I like Motorola phones, but they're not perfect. But again, when you get a phone like this, you are going to sacrifice something. There is a trade-off with phones like this. There just are. The screen is really good. I don't actually think you can see the crease all that much when I'm like this, and certainly this phone has given me the best hidden crease possible. And again, this is my daily phone, right? This is the phone I've used every single day since it turned up. And by the way, this wasn't a freebie. Like, I bought this with my own money. With the crease, I think this, so far, the phones that I've used, this has been the best phone that hides that crease while you're using it. As the light goes off, you can see a little bit there. It's much more defined. It doesn't feel as prominent, certainly compared to something like a Samsung or even the Google. And it is a long phone. It is a very long phone. But it gives you everything, man. It just gives you everything.